All right. Welcome to episode 14, 15, 16. I don't even know what episode this is, but we are doing a business transformation live today. We're continuing the work that we've been chipping away at for the last couple of weeks. And what have we been doing? Let's do a quick recap before anything else. Um, so, what is this live all about? About? um, yeah. So on this episode, what we do is the show is called Design Over, and we do extreme makeovers for businesses. And the current live that I'm doing, that you're watching, is essentially a redesign, or you could call this a business transformation live of a corporate brand, and we're doing a bit of a design refresh. This is going to be, I don't even remember what episode this is, so I'm going to get rid of that altogether. Wait, let me grab my mouse pointer again. And then over the last couple of episodes, what we have done is we've gone through discovery, we've looked at annual reports, we've done a competitive landscape, we've done benchmark cross category, we've even synthesized all our learnings and observations when it comes to doing any kind of business transformation work, especially any design specific work. Okay, great, fantastic. Just, yeah. And yeah, so the other piece to this is post doing all some of those things in that discovery phase, which I'll take you guys through in just a second, just to do a quick recap because we're coming back at this after a couple of days. Even I have to refresh my memory as to what has happened on this. What did I do? What did I end up doing last time? And so it'll be a quick refresher for myself as well. One thing that sucks that did happen, and I have to figure out what I'm going to do now, but is the computer that I was live streaming from, or the computer that I was working on while I was live streaming, ended up crashing. So it's gone over to Apple, and they're going to change the motherboard, the logic board, the battery. I'm going to get back basically a brand new computer, which is great, but at the same time, it is a little bit sad what happened. So that's something I got to deal with. Other piece to this is now that that computer crashed, I'm going to have to redo some of the work because I, like an amateur, was saving all the work to the desktop versus having it go to directly to the cloud. And because of those reasons, some of that work will have to be redone. But that's okay. I will take you all through that work of what has been done. Also, let's do a quick hygiene check of if everything is working fine on the live. I just want to make sure. Okay, Apple doesn't even recognize my own face. Odd. Okay, we are live on LinkedIn. That is looking good. That is fantastic. Love it. Okay. And then if I am going to check here. Yep, I am looking good on X. Am I looking good on YouTube? So yeah, so the live is going out to YouTube, X, LinkedIn, Behance. Okay, and Facebook. I think it should be working fine. Yeah. Okay. Fantastic. Okay. Good. Just making sure the live is working fine. One day there's gonna be a producer sitting in the back and be like, just give me a thumbs up. And all right. Okay. So let's go through some of the work that we did here in this phase. I'll just do a quick recap. If you've just coming in hot into this episode and you're not really sure what it is that we've covered. So let's go through it together. Here, let me just zoom out here. So this is just some initial work that was done. We looked at some of the internal stuff. What is this business trying to do strategically? Some of the acquisitions that they've made. What's the new market that they're trying to capture? We covered that, and then we also looked at, what is their solution portfolio or the solution stack? What do they offer? We also read some funny and interesting employee reviews, which are always fun to read and learn from. What's gives you a pulse on what's happening internally. But that I do want to mention that you want to take them with a grain of salt because you don't get a full view of what really happened there. But it's still good to read them. And then here are some of those in that discovery. We looked at just some of the pages across the business. And funny enough, during the second episode, the business had just recently updated their homepage, which is cool. I did give my comments and feedback already, so if you haven't seen that, you can go into the show description or in the comments. The link to the playlist is there. Okay, so we did cover a lot of ground here in terms of interesting observations and opportunities. Then we also looked at some, the landscape. We looked at the McKinseys of the world. We also looked at some direct competition, did a close analysis of from a communication perspective, brand, information architecture, all those different lenses. We looked at direct competition. There was also some interesting benchmarks that we also looked at. Now, that was covered off in these previous episodes. So there's all this work that has happened. And where are we today? Now, some parts of the puzzle got deleted, which I'll have to redo because I did do a lockup of a new identity system. So that needs to definitely happen all over again because I lost the computer on which all of this work was happening. But I have gone ahead and started work on wireframes of how to even structure the information. So just taking a first stab at it. I haven't looked at this since last week. So we're going to pick up where we left off. And just to keep myself honest, I'm not doing any work outside of the live. So anything that's happening is directly in the live. So if I'm making, changing sequence, exploring something new, revisiting something, deleting something, you're going to get to see everything live. There's no hidden fee, no hidden work happening behind the scenes. This is the behind the scenes, basically. This is it. So so here's the first stab at, just looking at their existing navigation at the top, how the information is structured. I've taken a slightly, just sort of revised the approach on what could be done, what might be a better way to think about buyers and people who want to use their service. So this is what we did last time, and I'm also just sort of getting my eyes and my brain sort of context switching back into this work. Okay. Thank you, the developer school. Where are you based, by the way, the developer school? Um, Thanks for those comments, by the way. Um, and glad that you're following along. um, and so I have reoriented some of the stuff. I put, again, I did a lot of placeholders just so I know that I have at least all those things that I have to consider and to come back to and refine and finesse. So at least I have all the chunks in there. And then I got to make a decision on what's going to be hidden away and what's going to be up front and center. India. Oh, nice. Interesting. Fantastic. Okay. And then what we have here is what part of India, by the way? The developer school. Interesting. I'm from India, by the way, as well. So, namaste, sasrikal, hello. Okay. And then I was exploring the home page, and I think this is basically where we ended this live stream last time. Is what the homepage should be all about. What about? I was playing around with some copy language. I did take some screenshots of case studies that they have on their site, and I want to put those, use the case studies as ingredients to sprinkle across the whole site. Although, I wished there were more testimonials and quotes that I could use. Oh, wicked. Jaipur, Rajasthan. Oh, dude, that's awesome. Love it. That is fantastic. I love it. I have some good friends who are from Jaipur. Okay, so there's a lot of work here that needs some help. Okay. So, what are we going to do next? I'm just going to, again, go into, let me just get the chunks of information that I would want to see on the homepage, at least laid out, and at least take that first stab at it. There's no hard and fast on this being perfect at all. This is just a working session. I'm just trying to at least get the basics in place. Okay, so what was my thinking here on the homepage itself is one of the interesting learnings from looking at some of the competition and what other people are doing in this space and category is, for a business like this, we want to show up not only as a SaaS company, of course, digital, and that is the area that they're trying to go in, which is great. But one of the things that I observed, which was unique to this business, is that it's the Venn diagram between, advisory and consulting and a SaaS product, because there's a lot of history that they have in terms of past clients and past work that they've done. So as they're scaling up, again, I'm just making assumptions on how much and what they're trying to do. So based on some of those assumptions, my thinking here is that from a strategic perspective, it's going to be an overlap of consulting and advisory meets SaaS and all the solutions that they have to offer. So now, thinking about the buyer, switching gears, thinking about the buyers who are coming to DCM's website, what would they expect? How can we deliver and serve them when they come to the website? My thinking here is that knowing that the buyer could be at a different stage of the cycle, of their buying cycle, and this could be, the CMOs, the leaders in different agencies. If we go back quickly here, that's where the thinking is, and this is where I talk about. I'm just making an assumption based on some of the internal strategic presentations on who are those buyers, who are those people who are going to come and buy from DCM. So it's, if they're going after that marketing and advertising services category, the buyers in that category could be, your chief marketing officer. It could be, the creative directors and all those people. Again, depending on which part of the solution that they're offering. It could also be somebody in procurement, depending on, again, size of the institution. And now some of the previous clients that they have in procurement, sorry, from a printing perspective, historically, are these large scale organizations like TD banks, financial institutions, health organizations. So we have to keep all those buyers in mind. Now, having said that, if we go with like that McKinsey, BCG sort of style of approach, is depending on where that buyer is in their journey, how can we show up educating? And when people are looking for information, how can we serve them and help them make a buying decision, or give them the right information so that when they do come to go from buying shopping modes, they can make an informed decision. So how can we help that and elevate that process? So that's where I'm thinking that we should have like a download, DCM could probably put together a really dope or wicked or a damn report that could be used by these executives to get informed and make a decision. So that's basically what's happening above the fold, so to speak. Now, I just want to knock out some of the bottom parts of the home page. And that's basically all I'm going to do on this specific transformation work, is just create high-level menu navigation architecture, which we've pretty much covered here at a high level. Still needs to be finessed, and then just the home page itself. And then once we're done that, I'm going to ship over all of this to DCM and see how they respond and react. We have no idea what's going to happen. So let's get into it. So a couple of things that need to happen on the home page in no specific sequence. I'm going to let me just grab this and expand this. Okay. A couple of things that I do want to see happen is copy of this. I'm just going to build out a few sections here just so grab this. Okay, let's grab all three of these elements. Go to the bottom. Okay. And I'm going to use a similar line. Connect the damn dots. So this is going to speak to how they can integrate with all the existing services. Integrations. Integrate and connect to all your existing applications. Let's center align this. And probably want to have here, I'm probably just going to have let's just do a circle here. And then again, just, service. Let's just call this an app. Okay. And then here, what I would want to do is just list out all the different apps that they could integrate with. Maybe just like the main ones, like, you could connect to HubSpot, you could connect to XYZ. I need to connect a charging cable to the. Okay. Okay, so that I would connect the damn dots. And then I would probably want to have almost like a sitemap. So let's call this Y. here for a second. Okay. And this is going to be a bit of a repeat of the menu here. Okay. Who we help. And again, here I would want to have a breakup of like actual like buyer personas. So it could be from here, it could be like, let's say we've got your, hold on a second, let me fix this problem first. Yeah. Battery on my keyboard needs attention. So don't want the keyboard dying out here. Okay, so then I've got your chief marketing officer. And I think I had already laid out a couple of the personas here at the top. So if I go, so there we go. We got the creative director, marketing manager. Okay, let's also copy these two and see. And I'll turn this into a single list. So what I'm doing is at the bottom, just creating like a little bit of a, almost like a site map here. Okay. Boom, 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 boom. Shrink that down. Don't need no color. And why does this have an outline? I don't know. Oh, wait a second. There we go. So who we help. Actually, let me write creative and so there's gonna be actually two sets here, but let me actually create a second tab, which is gonna speak to two sets. So maybe so there's going to be the one set is speaking to the new customers that they're going after, and then there's going to be a second set which is going to be all the existing customers that they have. So my guess was like procurement and then personas of existing customer base. That would go here. And all of this, let's bucket this information. Okay, boom. Oh, that's odd. And how do I get rid of this? None. There we go. Boom. So okay, so we help. Boom. And that's the categories. Awesome. Next over is oh yeah. And then the next over would be how we do it. Title here. Again, I just played around with the copy to just make it a little bit cheeky and fun. Okay, so I think for the bottom here, I'm gonna put, damn. Damn. No balls dropped. Again, this is, I'm just playing around with copy. I'm not even sure if I'm going to end up going with this as the final copy. But I do want to have a slightly different point of view as a starting point for myself to push the thinking a little bit. And then, so you could think about it like this, that that the current business is on a spectrum in terms of the tonality. This hand representing like super boring, dry, and like feels like watching paint dry or screeching on a chalkboard. And then on this end, it's like really quirky and fun. So I want to find like that nice point on that spectrum, which will resonate internally. And then if it resonates internally, they're going to be able to confidently show up with it externally. So that's the thinking there. Okay, so let's continue. By the way, 12:19. Okay, I have a good 40 more minutes. No, actually, I can only do it 30 more minutes today. But let's keep going. Okay, how we do it. And then this is where we can actually start speaking all about the stupid. We can start talking about solutions. Grab this. That would go here. And then let's go up to the top. Okay, so they have all these different solutions. I'm gonna grab this. Oh shit. So these are all the services that they offer. So let's just set these up properly. Again, these probably are not in the right sequence, but that's okay. Multi-channel marketing. So let me just shrink this down. So I'll say MK. Just to conserve some space. Okay, also let's get rid of this. No fail. So this is a combination of some of the existing services that they already had that they offer, plus some new stuff. So there we go. So one represents the past, and some represents the future, where they're headed. Okay. So that is going to be one section that I have. Oh, one more thing I can do here is just to make it like super easy. I can start clubbing all of these so that let's just do this. Let's just make the wireframe actually modular. That way, at any given time, I can just grab, let's just grab this. So these are just different sections, and then I can play around with the orientation later. Let me grab that one. Okay. Who we help, how we do it. Boom. Okay, so now this just makes it easier, right? So I can just now grab any section like you see here. You know, I'm like, oh wait, from a sequence and a story perspective, this needs to go up or down, and then I can have it laid out. I'm just looking at it, chunks of information. Just makes it easier to, you know, look at complex comms and just simplify it from a buyer's perspective. At some point, we'll do that. Okay, so these are done. Connect the damn dots. So that speaks to the integration part. Again, just going into different sections. Okay, now I do want to create some success stories also here. That's probably what I'm going to do next. So let's do that. Let's do a really quick success story thing here. So probably want to have, let's grab this, an image, and image goes here. Okay, and one is a success story template. Then the other one I want to have is just delete this. Ooh, actually, I'm going to call this section V. Let's see here. Damn. Knocked it out of the park. Knocked it out of the park. So let's, and so here I want to have like metric. So let's say something like, you know, 900,000 files, hours saved. No, let's say 1 million. I'm just making this up by the way because I don't have the actual numbers here. So let's go 0 hours saved in finding files, finding assets. Okay. So these would be like the heroes. Huge is too big. Maybe go with large. Extra large. Okay. So this should also be like a, basically we're speaking to what are the outcomes. And so this is like almost like a, I'm just making like a quick bento box style thing here. Okay, and then we could probably shrink this one down, that here, and then let's just shrink this down. Okay. So I want to have some outcomes laid out here. Let's just save this so I have that. it's going to be something as simple as like helping organizations like yours stay on their feet and deliver. Stay on their feet and helping stay on their feet and deliver outcomes. This is a little bit generic, but at least I just wanted to have a placeholder here very quickly. Okay, so I have like a couple of sections now. So there's going to be this at the bottom, and then of course one more thing I gotta add. Let's go one more. Damn. And damn. Let's actually, I'm just gonna call this footer. And let's change this orientation a little bit. Let's do this white. Let's do this black. Okay. So I'm gonna need a footer also. We will embed the call to actions across the page, you know, from top to bottom. That's just gonna be something I'm gonna do at the tail end. First, I just need to have at least all the structure in place. So let's keep going here. So now that I can see this in a very modular way, I can easily orient this. So I know for a fact what I would love to do is this down, and here in terms of a sequence I would love to have this, and some if I'm just thinking high level what my story is. Okay, so here we're kind of introducing what we do, what are the results we've gotten, and then who we've gotten them for. I would probably want to have my, let's grab this here, and let's shrink this down. Probably have my logos here, so let's grab a screenshot of that. Here it is. Let's zoom into this. Or let's take a screenshot here. All right. So I probably could do this in the same section and make this. Okay, yeah, actually that's a good idea. Let's delete that. Let's make this one section where we have outcomes, and who are those outcomes for in one section. Okay, so that I gotta address. All right, those are that, and then I need maybe like, let's do like 1, 2, 3. I want to actually have like 3 case studies laid out. Okay. Let's grab all of this. See, the thing about making these tiles is I don't feel like I'm locked into anything. I can just move around, feel flexible. And at this stage, we want to be in like this very fluid like state. So this one is gonna sit here. Okay. That is looking solid. Okay. So I'm thinking 2 case studies maybe, and then we should also expand a little bit on. Okay, here we go. Actually, and now I have another idea. So I'm thinking, yeah, let's do that. So. Could be like double the size, the height. I'm thinking here we can actually go a little bit into. Damn. What was I thinking? All creative on brand, all falls on my fingertips, beyond the ball every time. Okay. So I want to hear maybe like showcase, or I want to have a peek behind solution stack. Yeah. Okay. So that's what I'm going to do in this section here. These are some success stories. These are some successful outcomes. I might change this section. I might change that based on sort of this new thing. Okay. Damn, no balls dropped. Well, I'm gonna go another. Let's see here. It's already 12:34. I have 10 more minutes. Okay. Let's keep going very quickly. So, what I would like to do is here use this as a way. Let's grab these. Grab these. And so one way we can be a little bit smart about this is now because they're covering a whole bunch of different industries. What I want to do is just give a sneak peek into a few of them. We don't have to boil the ocean with all of them here. What I'm going to do is I'm going to call it, so I'm going to basically label them just the way they have them labeled here at the bottom. So financial services, let's do that one first. Caps lock, financial services. And grab that. And then I need a big bold headline and then a short description here. And learn more. Okay. So let's do this. Oh, wait a second. Why don't I just use this case study here? What's this one all about? I have a couple. Enable self-service customization of marketing templates, ensured brand and regulatory compliance across all marketing touch points. Okay, yes. Beyond, okay, yeah, the ability, all files at compliance, all credits on brand. Yeah, okay, so maybe let's just keep it super simple. All, whoops, all creatives on brand and compliant. So that could be there. This little, maybe it's like, let's do add. I'm gonna add like, oops, grab this. Some 4 bullet points here. Again, just keep it super simple. Yeah. Essentially, these cards, we just want it to be a teaser, and we want to excite and engage the buyer in a meaningful way. That's the goal here. So, okay. can already now see, like if I look at the old example, now, not trying to be mean, just calling it out. This is just for educational purposes, but let's just get rid of all this. Now, these are all my comments from the past. I'm gonna get rid of, oh, shit. So let's just, now the thinking here was, this is their current homepage, right? Making your marketing and communication workflows work better. Now that doesn't say much. It doesn't tell me much because this could just be a line that HubSpot uses, right? So how is this an ownable piece of communication that stands out? And what is it about this that's gonna keep the person wanting to read more? So that's one. And then companies we work with, this also doesn't say much. It's like, what does this mean? What did you do for them? And it's not actually laid out anywhere on the home page, right? We want to engage. And then even this, marketing solutions that add value and reduce complexity, this could just be a line from HubSpot.com. I'm looking for print and communication management. Okay, that still makes sense, but I'm looking for DCM digital, or I'm looking for marketing. I don't know what those mean. Like, the language is so self-centered and not in the buyer's words and not thinking about the buyer at all. So the UX is and then this section is still okay. Decades of experience serving your industry, whether we're rolling out healthcare solutions, driving digital marketing. So this is still a little bit better, but it can be dramatically improved. And then corporate responsibility and solving problems, sharing insights. Now the sequence and hierarchy and architecture of this page is the orientation needs to completely change. The corporate responsibility, all that stuff is great, especially for like a publicly traded company. This is probably not the spot to have it on the home page. It's probably because they haven't figured out what to actually put on the home page. So this just feels like, oh, we need to add this also. And then this definitely we need to switch up the sequence of this. And then the footer, well, of course, we're going to change the footer as well. So let's go back now, how we're thinking about the information flow. So if I put on the buyer's hat, and I'm looking for a solution that these guys offer, and I'm looking at competition, I'm going through different websites. I come here, and the first thing I'm offering is education. I'm offering something of value. Here, download this report. And you're teaching the buyer something. So that's the first thing that's happening at the top. And if I take a marker here, I'm gonna have to delete these later, but so that's basically, an opportunity to educate. But then also here in this bottom half, which is going to be, just the thing that's peeping out from above the fold. So you want to tease out that people to scroll. Instead of putting an arrow here, we're just going to tease out this section so that it encourages people to scroll down, right? And then here we want to have actually quotes from those leaders who used this service, right? So you're giving something of value, a report. And we're going to change that headline, of course. And even the information at the top. Okay, who we help, how we do it, and then why us, right? So why DCM? That's kind of the thinking there. And then here, go straight into like outcomes, and then connect the dots between the logos and what it actually means, right? Like, yeah, what does the logo mean? We want to clearly express and explain that in a subtle way. And then here we're actually going to get like a peek into actual case studies. So, depending on the buyer personas, the ones that they're trying to target, we could sequence this in the right way. And so we want people who's the buyer to find relatable stories. They should be able to see themselves into other people who've used it, and we're social beings. So if somebody else has that's like me, bought something from them, then I might, that might lubricate my thinking around approaching DCM. So that's another thing. Some case studies go here. And then here we actually want to do a quick, like a snippet of showcase of what are the solutions available. Has to be really simple here. Again, in the buyer's universe, not in how we see the solution, but how people, so it's not being solution aware, it's being more problem aware. And then, just having some of the basic hygiene stuff, okay, that we can connect with all your existing stack, tech stack, blah, blah, blah. And then again, just having a bit of a sitemap here. I wouldn't call this a sitemap, but just a high level overview. Just somebody wants to see through what's all available. And then we're going to have the footer. Of course, this is not an end all be all. This is just my first stab at it. There's a lot to be improved, tweaked, finessed. And again, I'm using a lot of the copy that I'm using right now. I'm just having a little bit cheeky fun doing the copy right now. Most likely I'm going to change it. And, like I talked earlier in the live that, really drab and boring and dry and watching paint dry and, the screeching of the chalkboard to really quirky and fun. So we want to find that nice happy medium of where this, the tonality from a communication perspective and brand is going to resonate with not only external people, but internal people, because internal people have to go out and sell it, right? So we got to draw that balance. But I think we're in a good spot today. I feel pretty good. We've made tons of progress. We'll be back tomorrow. What's the time right now here? Right. Yeah, so I'll be back tomorrow. We'll pick up things where we left off. And of course, I'm going to have to do some stuff all over again because that computer crashed and took all the files with it. And you can be part of my misery. We can be together. This was fun. I will see you folks on the next one.